Welcome to the weekly challenge. This week, I'm going to kick off something that's a bit different. We're going to embark on a small start to finish project together. Each week, we'll build upon the last. But don't worry, if you get behind a week or you struggle to get something working, you can still pick up the next week. I'll be providing you with resources you need each week to tackle each week independently. However, to get the most out of this, take on the challenge each week in order. Don't skip a week. The challenge for this week will be to plan out our project that we will be building. Now, if you're not familiar with the weekly challenge, let me explain. Each week, I challenge you to tackle a topic in C#. I give you all the materials you need to get started. Each challenge should take between 10 minutes and half an hour. That isn't a lot of time to dedicate to improving your C# skills, but I guarantee you, if you do the challenge each week, your skills will grow. If you're interested in how I would do it, or if you get stuck, you can follow a link in the description to sign up for my solutions. The best part is you'll get all the back issues of the challenges as well. Either way, follow the link in the description to get the challenge file associated with this challenge. Okay, so the goal of this challenge is to build a soda machine. Okay, that's the overall challenge we're going to do over multiple weeks. So let's read through the concept here. We're going to build an application that acts like a soda machine. Now, if you're not familiar with a soda machine, think of like a vending machine that just gives out soda. So you put in some money and you push a button and say, I want a Coke, and a Coke pops out. So that's what we're going to build. Now, in our soda machine, you put in your coins, you make your selection, and you get a soda. We'll keep track of inventory, change for users. So for example, if a user puts in 75 cents, then we're going to keep track of that and know they put 75 cents in, because if they want to buy something, we have to know they put enough money. And then we're going to track overall income for the soda machine. So the idea that how many people have bought, how much they paid, and so on, to get a total number for our soda machine, and more. And that and more is pretty important because this does allow us some flexibility when building our machine. But it's also very, very important that we don't start just adding wild and crazy features because they'd be cool. Otherwise, what happens is we have what's called scope creep. And the concept behind scope creep is you start with a simple concept and it just keeps growing over time, and so the finish line keeps moving. And so you never get to the finish line because you're always adding one more thing in the process. Oh, it'd be cool if this would be a Blazor app. Okay, it'd be cool if this would do that. If it had SignalR, if it had, 3 different database types. And so it keeps growing over time. And that's a danger. And so part of the way to prevent that is to have good upfront planning that says this is what we'll do, and then we'll do other things. But this is what we're going to do first. And this is like our version 1. Okay, so that's what this lesson's all about. So we're going to plan out the features that this app will need, and we're going to be specific about it. Okay, so this app is going to need to do these things. Now, I'm not asking you to say, okay, it's going to use .NET Core. It's going to use a console app or Blazor or ASP.NET Core Razor Pages, which it's going to do all those things, by the way. But that's down the road. For right now, these are the features that this application needs. So it needs to be able to take in coins. Just coins, or coins and dollar bills, or coins, dollar bills, and credit cards. All right. So what are the features this app is going to need? The bonus challenge is to identify the methods we will need to operate the soda machine. Now, these are not every method the application will use. There's a difference. These methods are kind of like the high level, let's call them entry points into our application, things the user will interact with. So for example, in a physical soda machine they'd walk up to, there's a button usually for each different type of soda. Well, that's a method call essentially. It's saying, I want this soda. And so it sends a little bit of information in, there's already hopefully coins that have been put into the slot. And so that input between the button push and the money already having been entered is the input for a method. Now, a lot of things happen behind the scenes. It checks to make sure that you have enough money, that the soda is in inventory, and then it dispenses it if it is. And if not, it tells you, I can't dispense it, it's out of stock. If you don't have enough money, it says you don't have enough money. If you have too much money, let's say you put $1 in and the soda is 75 cents, when it dispenses the soda, it's also going to give you change back. See, that one method input has behind it a whole lot of different actions. It kind of kicks off a sequence of things. We're going to identify those top level methods, the methods the user will interact with. And here's a hint. There's more than one type of user who interacts with a soda machine. It's not just the person who buys soda. That's a big hint. Okay, so think that one through and kind of take a step in their shoes and figure out, okay, what would this person do with a soda machine? How would they interact? What are the possibilities? And that's where you're going to start figuring out what your methods would be, or even just your features. Okay, so that is the primary challenge and the bonus challenge for this soda machine project planning challenge. I would encourage you, don't skip this. Planning is incredibly important, and the best way to learn how to plan is to practice it. If you just watch somebody else do it, you're not going to get the skills you need. You need that hands-on experience. So please do this, practice it, figure out what your plan would be, and then maybe look at my plan and say, okay, how did that line up with what I figured out? And maybe, what did you miss? What did I miss? And start looking through that, okay? So that's the challenge for this week. Do you got it? I hope so. Good luck and happy planning.